It's Goldman Diaries. When she called the cops, I was in pajamas, and she had a scratch on her cheek and the look of a terrified woman. I paid for everything. Sarah's degree, her textbooks, the nursing programs. I helped her get through every clinical, every night shift, every damn moment she said she wanted to quit. She never had to ask. I just did it. Because I believed in her. Because I thought we were building a future. 22 years. And I never once thought she'd use that future to destroy me. That night she told me she'd be home by 9. I said fine. Just don't stay out too late. But the clock hit midnight. Then 2. Then 4. She walked in like nothing happened, keys jingling, hair freshly styled. Where the hell have you been? She rolled her eyes, tossed her purse. I'm not doing this right now. You said 9. It's 4 in the morning, Sarah. She glared at me. You always have to control everything. You're not my father, Michael. No, I'm your husband. We shouted over each other. It got loud. Too loud. I slammed the door and walked into the other room. Not even 5 minutes later, there was a knock. Blue lights flickered outside the window. 2 officers. And Sarah, standing behind them, her cheek red with a thin scratch. Her arms crossed like she was scared. He got aggressive, she said. I stared at her. My mouth went dry. I turned to the cops. I didn't touch her. We argued. That's it. One officer nodded. The other looked her over. No visible injuries. Then they turned to me. You got somewhere you can go tonight, sir? I couldn't answer. I just nodded. I was frozen. Everything inside me went silent. I left, packed a bag in 15 minutes and drove to my parents' house across town. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. 3 days later, I came back, and she acted like nothing ever happened. I forgave her. She said she was exhausted, said she lost track of time, said she snapped because she was under pressure at work. She didn't mention the police. I didn't ask. I wanted peace. We ate dinner in silence the next day, like strangers pretending to be married. She kissed my cheek before bed. I closed my eyes and tried to pretend it meant something. We tried to return to normal. She went to work. I worked from home. We talked logistics, not feelings. Groceries, bills, schedules. But slowly, things shifted. She started coming home later. 10, 11, then past midnight. Always with an excuse. Rachel needed to talk. We had a late patient. We grabbed a quick drink. She'd leave in scrubs, hair tied back, no makeup. But when she walked back through the door, she wasn't the same woman. Styled hair, subtle lipstick, faint perfume that wasn't hers. Expensive, sharp. I noticed one night when she walked in wearing a fitted black dress. She looked surprised to see me awake. I said nothing, just stared. She slipped off her heels, glanced away. The girls wanted to stop by a lounge. Just an hour. I nodded. Didn't argue. Didn't ask why she needed to change for them. That became routine. Different clothes. Different smile. Different Sarah. The date stopped. The little things we used to do, midnight pancakes, movies on the couch, lazy Sunday mornings, they vanished. And the bedroom? It was cold. Polite kisses, nothing more. I didn't try. Neither did she. One night, I heard her crying in the bathroom. I stood outside the door. Silent. Not because I didn't care, but because I didn't recognize the person behind it. That night, it hit me. She was cheating. I just didn't know who with yet. I wasn't supposed to be home that early, but I had wrapped up a client call ahead of schedule, skipped my usual stop at the gym, and headed back. The mail truck was just pulling away. As I got to the porch, I saw a thick envelope sitting by the door with a yellow slip tucked under it. Signature required. The name on the corner, Melissa Brooks. A stranger. I opened it in the kitchen, half expecting a misdelivered bill or legal spam. Instead, I found a handwritten letter. Neat. Blue ink. Slightly shaky. And yes, it smelled faintly floral. Your wife is having an affair with my husband. I've been watching them. I have proof. I read it twice before I could move. She listed times, places, license plates, described Sarah's car, her shift schedule, their favorite meet-up spots, and then the gut punch. They kissed in front of your house. Tuesday night. You were inside. I looked up at the living room window, the same one I always leave cracked open for air. The letter ended with a phone number. I stared at it for a full minute before calling. Melissa picked up on the second ring. Her voice was flat, precise, like she'd said these words too many times already. I followed them. I installed a camera in our living room. I know what I saw. I didn't say anything. Do you want proof? I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. She said she'd send a link. An hour later, I got a notification. Google Drive. Shared folder. I clicked. First video. Sarah. Laughing. Sitting on a stranger's couch. Feet tucked under her like she belonged there. Then he appeared in the frame, Daniel, her colleague at work. He kissed her. She kissed him back. Slow. Familiar. Then they left together. Second video. The two of them outside. Our driveway. She was wearing her beige coat, the one I bought her last Christmas. He touched her face. She smiled, then kissed him, and walked inside. While I was home, while I was breathing the same air, I sat there, numb, the screen still glowing in front of me. I didn't scream, just stared. 10 minutes later, Sarah walked through the front door. I hadn't said a single word. I wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, just drifting through the house like a ghost. Sarah moved like nothing happened. Same steps, same clicks of her heels, same fake smiles. She didn't ask how I was, didn't ask why I was quiet. She didn't need to. We were both pretending. But I wasn't numb. I was watching, listening, measuring every lie she thought sounded soft enough to slip past me. One night, after dinner she barely touched, she went to the bedroom. I stayed in the hallway. No lights, just shadows. Her voice came through the cracked door, low, careful. I miss you too. Pause. I love you. Another pause. I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending. I made a noise. On purpose. A loud enough step to let her know I was there. She came out fast, phone already hidden, her face composed. She looked at me like I was the one who should apologize for interrupting. Then she smiled soft, practiced, walked right up to me, and hugged me. I got written up at work today. She leaned in, whispering. They're monitoring my clock-ins. Too many lates. She looked up, searching my face. But I wasn't there anymore. I stood still, let her wrap her arms around a body that had already left her. Inside, I was somewhere else, farther than she'd ever reach again. I went for a drive. No destination, just streets and red lights and quiet. I kept seeing her face when she lied. How easy it was for her. How normal it had become. An hour passed before I turned back. But I wasn't going home. Not in the way she thought. I didn't call anyone. Didn't tell a single friend. I parked outside a nondescript office complex on the south side of Charlotte. Suite 314. Small plaque on the door. Jenkins and Whitmore. Family law. The receptionist didn't smile. She handed me a form and a pen. Mr. Jenkins didn't ask for details. Do you want to contest anything? No. Do you have proof of infidelity? I do. I filed for divorce. She didn't know. I paid extra to have the documents delivered through the sheriff's office. Not in Charlotte, not where we lived, but in the next county over, where her parents lived, in Raleigh. I didn't want her to see it coming. Sarah said she was going away for the weekend. I just need some time. I nodded. Didn't ask where? Didn't need to. I tracked the delivery status online like a package. Confirmed. Served Saturday morning, 10:32 a.m. At 10:41, she called. I let it ring. Let it ring again. Then I picked up. What the hell is this? Her voice was shaking, but not with sadness, with fury. What the actual hell, Michael? I didn't answer. Are you serious? A divorce? You couldn't talk to me first? Pause. Then I said it, calm and final. You'll understand when you get back. And I hung up. Sunday came. She walked in like a storm had passed through her, hair a mess, no makeup, still in the hoodie she used to sleep in when she was 22. She dropped her bag at the door and stared at me. So talk. I walked to the table, picked up a manila envelope, laid it out in front of her. Inside, the letter from Melissa. Screenshots. Still frames from the videos. The timestamp on the driveway kiss. She opened it all. Every page. Her hands trembled. Then her shoulders dropped. Tears came. But not the kind that beg for forgiveness. The kind that come when you realize the mask doesn't work anymore. She crouched down on the floor like her legs gave out. And then she shifted. You've been distant for years, Michael. I said nothing. You're cold. You've made this house unbearable. You don't even see me anymore. Still nothing. This isn't about what I did. This is about how long you've stopped caring. Admit it. I didn't move. I didn't blink. I just turned, walked out of the room and into the guest bedroom, closed the door, sat down on the bed. For the next 3 weeks, we lived like roommates. She had officially become a stranger again. The next morning, she made coffee for both of us. 2 cups, just like always. She sat down across from me, eyes softer than they'd been in weeks. We can fix this, Michael. Her voice was almost a whisper. It was one mistake. Just one. I didn't answer. I just stared. Because I knew better. Melissa's folder didn't hold one video. It held 9. 9 different nights. 9 different outfits. 9 different kisses. Still, I asked, "Are you still seeing him?" She looked down. A beat too long. Then back at me. No. I ended it. Completely. I nodded. Her phone lit up on the table. Daniel. I didn't touch it. Didn't need to. I saw her fingers tremble as she turned it over, screen down. That evening, I heard her voice again through the bedroom door. Same tone. Same whisper. I didn't move. Didn't barge in. Just walked to my room, closed the door behind me, and opened my inbox. There it was. Email from the realtor. Final buyer confirmed. Sale pending signatures. I replied. Confirm. Proceed. Then I stood up, opened the closet, pulled out the suitcase I hadn't touched in years. I just packed. T-shirts. Socks. One framed photo I wasn't ready to let go of yet. The rest, I'd leave for the movers. At 1:15 a.m., I grabbed my keys, stepped outside, didn't say goodbye. The driveway was cold, slick with dew. The car felt unfamiliar. Too clean, too quiet. I didn't turn the engine on right away. Just sat there, staring at the porch light, at the shadow of her moving past the window, still lying. That night, I slept in my car. Not because I had nowhere else to go, but because I couldn't be under the same roof anymore. The courtroom was quiet. Fluorescent lights. That coffee smell. No drama. Just signatures. The judge barely looked at me. Didn't ask questions. Didn't care why. North Carolina is a no-fault state, he said flatly. Everything is to be divided equally. 50-50. No matter what she did. No matter who she did it with. Sarah sat 2 chairs away from me. Hair done. Neutral dress. As if looking put together would make her lies disappear. The list was read aloud. Joint savings. Split. My marketing firm. She gets 50% of the shares. House. Listed immediately. Proceeds to be divided. I didn't flinch. Didn't protest. I signed the papers like I was clocking out of a job I no longer needed. No ceremony. No closure. When it was over, we walked out into the parking lot. She followed me. Michael, wait. I stopped. Didn't turn. She touched my arm. I'm sorry. I stayed still. Stone. Then she said it. Maybe we can still be friends? I turned my head just enough to meet her eyes. Then stepped away. Got into my car. Didn't start it right away. I watched her standing there through the rearview mirror. Smaller than I remembered. A silhouette I used to love. I pulled out. Didn't wave. Didn't look back again. For the next few weeks, I focused on the paperwork. Closed accounts. Finalized the house listing. Handed keys to the realtor. I moved into a small place outside of Charlotte. Nothing big. Just quiet. Then one afternoon, I stopped by my old gym. An old friend spotted me. We exchanged a few polite updates. And then he said it, offhand, casual. So, I heard Sarah moved in with some guy. Daniel, right? It hit me in the chest. Not because I didn't know, but because now it was public. No shame. No secrecy. She went straight from my bed to his. I went home. Deleted the last photos. Cleared out the shared drive. Blocked her number. Changed mine. A month later, she was living with him. And I was learning how to live without her. It had been weeks since I last heard her name out loud. I wasn't counting the days. Not anymore. I had a new number. New routine. New silence. No calls. No photos. No ghosts on my screen. I kept my head down, worked long hours, ate clean, lifted heavier. Small things. But they anchored me. Then one Thursday, Melissa, my office assistant, knocked on the door. She needed a signature for a vendor contract. We went over the details quickly, efficiently. And just before she left, she paused. By the way, I ran into someone who used to work with your ex. I didn't respond. Didn't look up. Heard her boyfriend left. I looked up slowly. Left? She shrugged. Packed his things and moved out. Guess he's back with his ex-wife now. I nodded. Once. Didn't ask for more. Melissa left. The door clicked shut behind her. But inside me, something shifted. Not satisfaction. Not revenge. Just quiet confirmation of what I already knew. She gave up everything for a man who never meant to stay. She lost the house. She lost me. And now she lost him too. Her new apartment was gone within weeks. She'd missed too many shifts at the hospital. Too many unexplained absences. They let her go quietly. No scandal. Just paperwork and a silence that sounded like failure. I didn't laugh. I went home and ate dinner alone. Chicken and rice. Broccoli. Everything measured, everything stable. I slept better that night. In the mornings, I stopped checking the driveway. Stopped looking at the empty side of the bed. The air in my home felt different, lighter. Like it finally belonged to me again. I woke up early. Went for runs. Took longer showers. Played old records I'd forgotten I loved. I didn't miss her. I missed the version of her I thought I had. A week later, she walked into my office. And she looked like she hadn't slept in days. It was late. A slow Friday. End-of-week paperwork. Coffee gone cold on my desk. I was wrapping up a budget report when I heard the front door chime. Melissa had already gone home. I figured it was a delivery. But when I walked out of my office and turned the corner, there she was. Sarah. Hair pulled back. Eyes swollen. She looked smaller somehow. Like the air had been let out of her. I froze. She didn't. She took a single step forward. I just wanted to talk. Just talk. That's all. I stepped out from behind the desk. Calm. Steady. You're not supposed to be here. But stayed anyway. Please, Michael. I know I destroyed everything. I know what I did. But I've lost everything. I'm not asking for a second chance. Just a place to breathe. I looked at her. Really looked. This was the woman I once imagined growing old with. The woman I defended, invested in, trusted with the softest parts of me. Now, she was a ghost. I'm sorry. She blinked, her voice breaking. I know sorry doesn't fix anything. I don't know where else to go. I stayed silent. Let her words hang in the space between us like smoke that wouldn't clear. No anger. No pity. Just silence. Then I spoke. Not loud. Not cruel. Just final. If you come here again, I'll file for a restraining order. She winced. Tears filled her eyes instantly. Michael, please. But I was already walking to the door. I opened it. Stepped aside. She didn't move at first. Then, slowly, she walked out. No more words. I closed the door gently. Turned the lock. Stood there for a moment with my hands still on the handle. No shaking. No second thoughts. That was the last time I ever saw her. And I didn't look out the window to watch her leave. I changed the locks. Not just on the door, but on every part of myself that ever let her in. I cleaned the apartment top to bottom. Donated everything that held her scent. New curtains. New plates. New silence. I got back in shape. Woke up at 6. Ran 3 miles before sunrise. 8 eggs. Oats. Coffee. Routine. Unshakable. I rebuilt my life like it was a spreadsheet. Line by line. No room for error. No more old playlists. No shared photo albums. No voicemail replays. She was gone. And for once, she stayed gone. People asked, sometimes colleagues, acquaintances, "Are you seeing anyone?" I smiled. Shook my head. No. Just keeping busy. They nodded, not pressing further. They didn't see what I knew. That I wasn't healing. I was evolving. There was no pain now. Just clarity. Just a version of peace that came without noise or color. I didn't miss her. I missed who I thought she was. And that version of her had died the night she walked in at 4 a.m. and told me I was controlling. Now, My phone doesn't ring at night. No half-truths. No vague texts. No pretending. I fall asleep faster. Not because I'm happy, but because I'm not waiting for anyone anymore. I learned to cook again. Simple things. Grilled salmon. Roasted vegetables. Meals for one, plated without apology. I learned how to sit with silence. How to let it breathe beside me like an old friend. Sometimes I see her in passing on someone's feed, a friend of a friend, tagged by mistake. But I don't click. I don't scroll. She ruined everything. But in doing so, she freed me. I paid for her dream. She paid for my freedom. So when people ask why I'm alone, I tell them this. Because I finally chose myself. And I don't share that with traitors. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you built your life around, you're not alone. Just don't let it harden you. Let it free you. If you made it this far, thank you. Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you'd like more untold stories, subscribe.